In the small town of Adams, Tennessee, the year was 1817, and life was slow, simple, and full of faith. The Bell family lived peacefully on their farmland, the sun rising over endless fields of corn, the soft neigh of horses, and the laughter of children echoing through the valley. John Bell, a respected farmer and devoted churchgoer, worked hard to provide for his wife Lucy and their children. Their home was built with care, solid timber, warm fires, and a deep sense of comfort. But something unseen was waiting in those woods, something ancient and restless. It began one cool autumn evening. As John walked along the edge of his field, he noticed movement between the rows of corn, the shadow of an animal, but not quite. Its body looked like a large black dog, but its head was something else entirely. Elongated, human-like, with hollow eyes that reflected the pale light of the moon. He froze. The air felt thick. He raised his musket and fired. The creature didn't run. It didn't fall. It simply vanished. That night, John told Lucy what he'd seen, but she dismissed it as tired eyes playing tricks in the dusk. Yet the very next night, the first sound came. Soft, almost delicate. A scratch along the wooden wall behind their bed. Then another, and another. John searched the house, under the floorboards, through the attic, outside along the walls, but there was nothing. Still, the sound came again the next night, louder, more insistent. Then it turned into knocking, echoing through the hallway, even as the family sat frozen around their dinner table. When morning came, they said nothing, pretending it was nothing but wind. But by the third night, silence was a luxury they could no longer claim. The knocking became pounding, violent, rhythmic, like someone hammering with both fists. Footsteps followed, heavy and slow, pacing the floorboards when no one was there. The children huddled together, whispering that something was walking among them. Then the voice arrived. At first, it was no more than a murmur, faint, indecipherable words drifting through the dark. But as days passed, the whisper grew bold. One night, when the candles had long burned out, the voice spoke clearly. John Bell. The farmer sat upright in bed, his pulse quickening. Lucy turned toward him, her face pale. "Did you hear that?" He nodded. "It said my name." The voice came again. "John Bell, I'll have your soul." Lucy clutched her husband's arm, trembling. The house fell silent except for the echo of those words. From that night on, peace abandoned the Bell home. Betsy, their youngest daughter, began to wake with tears in her eyes, claiming something was pulling her hair, whispering into her ear. Some mornings, her arms were covered in fresh bruises, as if invisible hands had grabbed her during sleep. John tried to fight back the only way he knew, with prayer. He gathered his family around the fire each night, reading from the Bible until the voice would mock him, repeating the verses aloud, word for word, but twisted with laughter. "You can't bless what's mine," it sneered. Word of the haunting began to spread. Neighbors whispered about strange cries echoing through the Bell property after midnight. Some claimed to see flickers of light dancing above the fields. Others swore they heard laughter in the wind. Curiosity grew, and soon visitors began to arrive, some out of sympathy, others out of fear, and a few drawn purely by fascination. Among them was Reverend James Johnston, a local preacher who decided to spend a night in the Bell home. He sat with the family, Bible in hand, waiting as the candles dimmed. Around midnight, the room grew cold, and a soft voice floated through the air. "Johnston, you doubt me." The preacher froze. "In the name of the Lord, reveal yourself." The voice replied, "I am the one wronged. I'm the one you forgot." The next morning, Reverend Johnston fled the house, pale and shaken. He wrote in his journal, "An unseen voice spoke with wit and wickedness. It knew things no living soul could know." The entity soon revealed a name, Kate. She claimed to be the spirit of Kate Batts, a woman from the community who had once quarreled with John Bell over land. "He cheated me," she hissed, "and I'll have my justice." But others began to doubt her claim. How could a mere ghost know the secret thoughts of men? How could she move objects, sing hymns in perfect tune, and strike terror deep into the hearts of everyone who heard her? Some began to whisper that Kate was only a mask, that the spirit tormenting the bells was something older, darker, something that thrived on fear itself. And as the nights stretched on, that fear became the family's constant companion. The Bell children learned to fall asleep to whispers that never stopped. Lucy prayed until her voice broke, and John Bell, once the proud head of his household, now walked his own land trembling, feeling eyes on him wherever he went. Whatever haunted their home was no mere ghost. It had purpose, it had anger, and it had claimed the Bell family as its own. By 1820, the Bell family had become prisoners in their own home. Sleep was rare, peace was gone, and even daylight could not chase away the fear that lingered within those walls. The voice, that chilling, unpredictable voice, had grown bolder, sharper, crueler. It would laugh at prayers, mimic family members, and sometimes sing hymns in the dead of night with a voice too human, too close. John Bell, once a respected farmer and churchman, began to weaken. His hands shook, his eyes seemed hollow, as if the life was slowly being drained from him. Neighbors spoke of how the witch seemed fixated on his downfall. "He is mine," the voice would whisper. "He will not escape me." Then came the day of reckoning. One cold December morning, John Bell was found motionless in his bed. Beside him, a small vial lay uncorked, its contents unknown. When the family questioned the spirit, she laughed and said, "I gave old Jack a dose last night that fixed him." Those words echoed through the farmhouse like thunder. When they tested the vial on a cat, the animal instantly collapsed. It was as if poison, or something darker, had found its mark. The townspeople whispered of witchcraft, others of madness. Yet, no one could deny one thing. The bell which had promised John Bell's death, and now he was gone. At his funeral, witnesses claimed to hear laughter, low and cold, coming from somewhere among the trees. Some swore they heard a woman's voice singing joyfully, as if celebrating the end of her curse. For many, it marked the end of the haunting, but for others, it was only the beginning. After John Bell's death, the strange occurrences began to fade. The voice grew distant, the knocks and whispers became rare. The Bell home, once a center of terror, slipped slowly back into silence. The family moved on, and the years passed. But the legend, it refused to die. Travelers spoke of hearing faint whispers near the Bell property. Some said the witch still roamed the woods, her voice carried by the Tennessee wind. Others claimed the spirit had attached itself to the land itself, restless, waiting. Even today, visitors to Adams speak of sudden chills, flickering lights, and a strange sense of being watched. The story of the Bell, which became one of America's most enduring legends, a haunting that blurred the line between fact and folklore, between faith and fear. Historians debate what really happened. Was it mass hysteria, guilt, or something supernatural beyond explanation? No one truly knows. But in the quiet fields of Adams, Tennessee, when the wind moves through the trees and the night turns still, locals say you can sometimes hear her whisper, soft, mocking, almost playful. "Old Jack Bell," she calls in the dark, "I told you, I'd never leave." And so, the Bell which remains, not in form, but in memory, etched forever into the fabric of American folklore. A tale not of monsters or demons, but of the human mind, of fear given voice, and of a spirit that refused to rest. Because some stories never end, they simply wait to be told again. But as the night settles once more over Adams, a question still lingers. What truly happened in that farmhouse more than 2 centuries ago? Was the Bell, which the restless ghost of Kate Batts, seeking revenge from beyond the grave? Or was she something else, a creation born from fear, guilt, and superstition? Some say the Bell Witch story reminds us how powerful belief can be, how imagination, once shared, becomes something alive. Others see it as folklore that grew over generations, shaped by whispers until the truth vanished into legend. Even today, visitors to Adams claim to feel her presence, a cold gust, a fleeting laugh, a whisper in the dark. Maybe the witch never left. Maybe she's waiting for someone new to tell her story again. So what do you think? Was the Bell Witch a real haunting or the echo of fear itself? Share your thoughts in the comments below. And if you enjoy stories that blend truth, mystery, and the supernatural, subscribe for more real American legends, where every tale hides a question, and sometimes the question is scarier than